Hi YouTube, this is Steven and Christina from Reach the Sun, and we're here to talk today about Harry Potter because we're both huge Harry Potter fans, and I'm not gonna lie, Christina's a lot larger of a Harry Potter fan than I am. I'm like, I've read the books once upon a time, and I really enjoyed the movies, but aside from that, not the biggest fan.
Still one up on me, I haven't read the books. But I've watched the movies probably countless times.
Probably countless.
Probably.
So, you guys have probably all heard of the fan film that's going around with you, the True Heir, is it called? The One True Heir?
Voldemort, yeah.
Yeah, the One True Heir.
Yeah.
And just a little backstory on this. This is a fan film that made a Kickstarter in 2016, started to really pick up some pace and grabbing funds, and then it was kind of stopped for momentarily from Warner Brothers. And then they were forced to have conversations with Warner Brothers, and in the end, it was decided that yes, they can do their fan film, but it has to be non-profit. It's going to be on YouTube for free, and there's strong rules as to what they can or cannot use. Like they can't use any clips from any of the other movies or references or anything like that.
Well, from the trailer, it looks like they're starting from after Voldemort's graduated Hogwarts, and he's working at Borgin and Burke's, and then it's going to tie in. From there, him going on his journey to find all of his Horcruxes and then become the Dark Lord.
See, this is where it depresses me though, because like, yeah, the Horcrux stuff is really interesting, but I feel like the most interesting part is still the part we're missing. Because like, I think, like, I did some research and I was looking into the past of Voldemort, and I honestly think that the coolest stuff with him is, first and foremost, when he goes to Hogwarts and he's searching for his heritage, because you already saw in the movies or read in the books, if you read the books, that he was obsessed with finding his heritage and could not believe that his mother was the magic one, because if she was magic, she would have found a way to not die. Except now he's going through his history looking for his dad, can't find his dad, and then he ends up traveling to his hometown, which I don't remember the name, do you? Little Heglington. And runs into his uncle, finds out about his dad and how everything went down with his mom, and then he ends up killing his dad and framing his uncle.
Yeah, he basically killed his whole family.
Yeah, and then his uncle goes to Azkaban for life. Watching him like at Hogwarts trying to go through all those records and making that strong effort into finding out who his magical parent is, or in this case, finding evidence of his dad, I think that could be really interesting. And you see this whole time that he's always obsessed with immortality, so he's already, like, when he's at Hogwarts, he's already looking into Horcrux, etc. And I think just the idea of a Horcrux is something that could go unbelievably in depth. Like, you could make like 6 movies just about the idea of a Horcrux. Like, that in depth, it could be that rich. And I find that him talking to his uncle and seeing hearing what happened to his mom and how everything worked out, now he realizes that his mom was the magical parent, and not only was she magical, but she was a descendant of Salazar Slytherin. Is that how you pronounce it? Salazar?
Salazar.
I can't pronounce it. Anyway, of Slytherin, and she was a powerful wizard, and she still died. She still couldn't escape death. So if at that point he was looking for immortality, saw that a Horcrux was the only way to do it, but then, oh, look at all these negative sides of splitting your soul and how that works and everything. That's going to make anyone a little hesitant, but finding that out, that's going to be the trigger, and that's going to be when he goes in and finally decides, okay, I'm making a Horcrux. And that very well could be the turning point in which he creates the first Horcrux, which again is the next part that's just absolutely amazing, really, if you could put it on film properly, is how one goes about creating that first Horcrux and going into that. So you find him creating the Horcrux of Tom Riddle's diary. That's what I wish it was about.
Well, I think it'd be interesting too is if you did when he is in Hogwarts, then you get to see his relationship with all the other students as well as all the professors, because he had a very strong relationship with Professor Slughorn, which we only get to see a little brief snippet of it in the 6th film.
Yeah, whereas with this stuff, you're probably gonna, I don't know if it's 100% after this now, when he's like trying to become the professor against the dark arts.
This is just after that.
This is just after that.
Yeah, because he goes to Dumbledore and applies for Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Dumbledore talks to him
and turns him down, and then Voldemort places a curse, which is why there's only ever one Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher per year, which I thought was interesting. So I thought it was hilarious just watching. It's like, oh, who's gonna be the new professor this year?
Yeah.
But it was because Voldemort, which I thought was funny. But
I feel like that's just like a cop out. Like they just kept getting it, and then they had to come up with a reason as to why there was only one.
Why? Because Voldemort.
But yeah, no, it's just a really fascinating topic.
We've never seen his backstory. It's not even like kind of mentioned. His post Hogwarts years. It's kind of like all we know is from what's in Harry Potter, which is like I'm the
like
dark
haze.
one.
Yeah, I like everything before is just haze, and I think that's why it'd be so interesting to see that turn in that development, because I like the time period they pick based on his history. That's not when the switch happens. You're seeing right after the switch.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you get to see a guy go from angry, moody, and pissy to like Dark Lord. But
Yeah.
why not start it off as that innocent child that was in the orphanage room with Dumbledore to begin with, and see him go from that rather intelligent and innocent child into Dark Lord. You see that, like, just that transition. What brought him there? That's what's important. Well, I kind of took over that one. I'm sorry. I just stuck listening to me the whole time. But yeah,
You know
that's
your
that.
Harry Potter stuff.
Apparently. Research.
Research.
So, yeah, again, this is Christina, and I'm Steven from Reach the Sun, and if you guys like this or want more, feel free to like and subscribe. If you have any ideas for anything in the future, or any questions, or any theories of your own, or anything you can clarify on what we spoke of, just comment down below, and we'll gladly read them, and most likely comment back. So, yeah, feel free. For those of you who are new, welcome to the family, and for those of you who are tuning in again, thanks for the visit.